Beth Hool from Fox Carolina in Greenville. A little off topic of the NCAA tournament, but wanted to ask each of you about Preston and what he's brought as your guys' strength coach this year and having him back at Clemson and just what he's provided for you guys.
We'll let PJ start.
Yeah, Preston Green. He started off with Coach Brownell early on in his time at Clemson, and then headed out to Florida with Billy Donovan. He's been to a handful of Final Fours, national championships, and it's ridiculous kind of stuff he's able to do to our physiques and our conditioning and stuff. It's really incredible stuff. I'll tell you what, it's funny, like Justin McClellan was his guy under him at Florida, and so with the women's team, and so he came to Clemson, and the guys who were here before Preston were always like, PJ, you were built by J-Mac and fine-tuned by Preston. That's what they kind of jab at J-Mac about. So he's incredible, though, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Preston's done a lot, especially for me personally, just trying to change the way that, my conditioning is. Obviously playing a different system. From Syracuse to Clemson, it's a lot different playing zone and man for 40 minutes. So he's done a lot for me, my body-wise, just shaping my body and, getting me in better condition and better shape to, withstand a 35-game season plus. So Preston's unbelievable and obviously has a lot of connections, a lot of people trust him, and he's pretty noteworthy in the industry.
Yeah, I think he's just brought a different level of experience for us. He's an older guy, a guy with a lot of experience, like I said, and he took us through a very grueling summer. We had some hard conditioning, and he's just been a guy that speaks up. He speaks up for us, and he makes sure that we're good, our bodies are good, and I'm very thankful of Preston, and yeah, like Dave said, he's a great guy, and just a great guy to be around, and we're lucky to have him.
Going on the aisle here.
Hey, PJ, it's Grayson from IntegriIllustrated.com. Just wanted to get your opinion on R.J. Godfrey's performance yesterday, coming in with you and Shefflin in foul trouble. What has his development been like over the course of the season, and to see it now in a postseason setting? Just can you describe that for us?
Yeah, it's incredible to see him kind of blossom right there in yesterday's game. It's younger guys especially who haven't played any postseason games. It's you never know how things are going to shape up when they're out there, but RG's a very free-minded guy. He's kind of like me in that way, just like he's going to go out there and put it all on the table. And he did just that. He went out there and gave us a huge spark, had a lot of incredible rebounds. We were able to push it up the floor and get some advantages and stuff. And he was huge for us, man. And not only that, having some size, rebounding, but also just defensively. He's such a presence. And then, obviously he has some explosive things around the basket. So he's a special guy to be able to come in off the bench and give us a huge spark at all times. Yeah.
Others for student athletes. We'll stay in the same spot.
For all three of you, Baylor is one of the best shooting teams in the nation. Very similar to New Mexico. They shoot a lot. But how do you guys lock them down like you did New Mexico?
Chase, we'll let you start this one.
Yeah, I think it's just coming out again with that same competitive spirit, competitive fight, and making sure that as guards we're getting over ball screens and making sure we have high hands and just limiting their threes and just making things hard for them, and then we'll be successful.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is trying to make sure that they're not really rhythm threes. Try and keep them on the move a little bit. Like Chase said, get over some screens and off the ball. Just kind of be head turn at all times because they have 3, 4, sometimes 5 guys on the court who can shoot a three. So they've always had a great offense, and it's going to be a tough task for us. But I think if, like I said, we just stay locked in, focused on where our guys are at, and knowing personnel will be all right.
I think Joe hit it on the head. The rhythm threes is a big key point. Making sure that whenever because we're going to give up a couple threes, that's how it's going to go. That we're not giving up easy step-in rhythm threes. That's the biggest thing. Kind of keep on that rhythm and be a little more disruptive. Yeah.
This is just to your guys, right?
Teresa Walker, the Associated Press. What's the challenge now that you've got a win under your belt in this event, and sitting out there as a Sweet 16 berth? How tough is it to stay focused? And does playing Baylor, a team that has a recent national championship, maybe help keep you focused in this task?
Who wants that?
Once you get in March, it's you kind of got to wipe the slate, whether no matter who you're playing. So after a New Mexico game where not a lot of people picked us to win, we were really on edge, had a lot of competitive spirit and fire. You kind of got to wipe it away and realize that there's a new 40 minutes ahead of you. And especially against a team like Baylor, like you said, who has had so much success in March recently, you got to be focused. But at the same time, stay doing what you did all year. Have that competitive spirit, have that edge that we just gained back hopefully this past week, leading up to these games. And just, like I said, stay together and make sure that, you're focused for a whole 40 minutes.
Others?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying, yeah, along the same lines. It's wiping the slate clean and making sure that you know that there's a new task at hand. What you've done in the past is not going to affect the future, so make sure you're ready for the next game. Yeah.